We are back with another game of Age Mythology of the Titans. I'm joined with ChronoJJ, spawning in the left side of the map in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is More Champion. His opponent today playing as Odin. He's Mr. Boat. In the red color of the map is Oasis, taking that first game with his Thor on Anatolia. New game, new life. What do you got to say for yourself, Chrono?
Well, they're back to their normal gods this game. You got more with Oranos and Mr. Boat with Odin. And it looks like Mr. Boat's going to use Great Hunt on his initial hunt. He's bringing in some goats. Normally you'd say Oasis would be Oranos favored. But we do see Mr. Boat with the double Osark, which is very important to get all those extra goats. So we'll see how that turns out for him.
Yeah, this is standard for Oasis as Norse. You immediately get 2 Ulsar, send them forward to your opponent's side of the base, and then start cleaning up backwards on the goat. So you're trying to steal as many as you possibly can. And unfortunately, we're seeing More Champion steal back already.
Yeah, a little bit of a fight over these goats, and even just 2 goats is important because I mean that's in reality a 4 goat swing. And I think Mr. Boat so far is probably a little bit disappointed in his goat finding abilities. He's not got as many as he would like.
Yeah, for an Oranos player for Oranos whose Oracle's a really low line of sight, I feel like More Champion's got very, very lucky so far, and he's already found 4 goat. Where I think we were hoping for Mr. Boat to have like next to all the goat on this map here against Oranos, but it's not happened. I wanna ask a question here. How Great Hunt has you can get 750 food worth of extra food. Is it not worth it to get the early hunt and get the extra zebra, so you can get 3 extra zebra and 2 or 1 extra goat? Right? Because they have like 75, they start with like 75 food, or is it 50 food they start with?
I think it is 50.
Okay.
I think it's 50.
Surely it would be best to send your initial 2 goat over, cast Great Hunt, and get the extra food rather than get the extra goat. Just so you have the more food to play with earlier rather than later.
I would agree with that. They do start with 50 because the new goat started with 50. I would agree you send your first 2 goats over and use it right away. I mean, your goats will eventually fatten up, but I think the faster gathering, especially since you got hunting dogs, it's worth it to do it on your initial zebra and goats.
Yeah, you're also Odin.
I'm no Odin player.
Yeah, you're also Odin, so you get fast together on those zebra. We got the temple up for Mr. Boat. We got the temple just coming up now for More Champion. It's a bit of a odd place to put the temple. I can see More Champion abusing this positioning. You generally want to try and get your first temple in range of your town center so that he can't take it for free. Always a little bit back, but this does protect the gold mine just a little bit.
Mr. Boat did not, I don't know if it's going to mean anything, he did not scout his second hunt. It's just out of range. He might end up seeing a giraffe maybe wandering into view, but he didn't scout it.
Oh, that's super unlucky there. This is why you have to scout with the goats that you claim. Don't send them straight back to your town center. Clear up that black space. Very, very important. You see Freya's incoming.
Realistically, though, he should know where it is because of where he has scouted.
There are 2 places it could be from Mr. Boat's line. So you got the top corner of the map, you got the bottom corner of the map. So he just needs to check those out.
Well,
and he's going to see them.
The top corner's too far. Yeah, he should though. I don't even know if he'll use it though because of the early Oranos pressure. Yeah.
We do see Freya's incoming, 65%, 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the game, and Prometheus incoming. That perfect build order from More Champion, getting the perfect 3:30 advance time as well. You're going to be seeing Military Academy and Counter Barracks, or Military Barracks and Counter Barracks, I should say, or 2 Counter Barracks here. We've got the standard Military Barracks, Counter Barracks for for More Champion. And More Champion has been pretty vocal about how he's struggled against Odin. So we'll see if Mr. Boat can play this game well enough to take the advantage here, or if More Champion's worked out what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, Mr. Boat is going to the berries, so that is gonna hurt, not knowing where his hunt. I mean, he does. Yeah, he doesn't have line of sight of that hunt, I don't think. Still not yet.
Yeah, it's not there. It will be worthwhile just walking to the monkeys and then making the move back onto the berries. He's also got hyena there, which 100 food of hunt, definitely worth killing those over the berries. I think
well, nice relics too.
Oh yeah, we got Pygmalion statue, 40% village hit points. Githara of Apollo. That one's very important for the Atlanteans, and you also get extra resources as well as the Nilla gods, just because the villagers drop off their resources a bit faster.
Boys, you gonna get the Valk? Maybe not. Promethean is trying to path block it.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't use Shockwave on that. He definitely could have killed it. It's worthwhile to just trade your initial Shockwave for a guaranteed myth unit kill, but choosing not to do so.
Yeah, might as well, because if you use it right away, then it's going to be ready for your next big fight.
We are seeing the Ulfsark spam here from Mr. Boat. He's got only built the two barracks. Does he have that upgrade yet? He doesn't have Lone Wanderer just yet. You kind of need Lone Wanderer before you want to be attacking, because you're going to get caught out and then all your Ulfsark will just die to Terma running them down, and same with Mamilo as well.
Because they need Lone Wanderer to be able to avoid arrow fire.
Exactly.
So that is very important. Very important.
Well, we've got a sort of a side attack here on Mr. Boat's houses while Mr. Boat's trying to move into the base of More Champion. But More Champion he's defending. Well, he's not really defending this well. He shouldn't be moving too far out of his base, but he is deflecting the attack while he's able to take down that house. So a nice win there for him. Raiding Cavalry are out as well, but I feel like they're just... Oh, he managed to pick up a hero Terma. That's huge. Manages to save that other Raiding Cavalry with 1 HP. That's a really nice micro from Mr. Boat.
Yeah, it will eventually very slowly heal up.
Well, if you leave it idle there, it's what is it? 0.8 seconds a hit point. Well, it's 0.8 per second. 0.8 hit points per second. So give it a minute, and it'll be back feeling real healthy.
Well, very. Though, unfortunately, though, Mr. Boat not knowing where his hunt is, that kind of slowed him down quite a bit. Because he actually, without the game played out, would have been able to hunt on his hunt without getting like early raids.
That was a huge shockwave right there from More Champion, managing to pick off 4 or 5 Ulfsark for free there, and that swings the population really heavily into More Champion's favor. That's 90 population to 70 population, and Mr. Boat has to get out of there. And because of all of his forward buildings, these houses are going to go down. This is forcing Mr. Boat to have to spam out houses. He's throwing down another longhouse in a precarious position. That's more of a delay tactic, it looks like, as More Champion is sort of gone for longhouses instead of the army here.
Alright, he did get Lone Wanderer. Okay.
Yeah, but More Champion's now got medium and Milo, so these Ulfsark are even worse. Definitely needs to get out his own medium upgrades. As we see, Forest Fire yet again used on a straggler tree.
Okay, did some work, a little bit. That straggler tree did. Yeah, the difficulty here for the Odin is that you can't fight straight up. You're not going to win. He has to be able to try to raid at the same time.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the moment he's pushing More Champion back. I kind of feel like Moore's a little bit out of position here, and his army is not quite with him. And I think maybe he's going for a second town center. Yeah, he's just about to throw that one up. Feels a little bit late. Normally you want to be looking at 8:30, but 9 minutes is standard, I suppose.
Yeah, he probably didn't want to go too early and fall behind military, but I think Moore's in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah, he's also like really commanding this army's attention while he's attacking the bottom of the base of Mr. Boat yet again, targeting the houses, which makes it really hard for Mr. Boat to continue building units. But Mr. Boat's on top of rebuilding these houses very fast, so that's going to be good for him.
Boat does have line of sight of that town center. He should run all of his old Sarks down to the town center right now because he knows where Moore's armies are.
Yeah, he does, but More Champion notices that there's a Raven there, and he sends 7 citizens onto this town center. So that's going to be up in a jiffy.
It's so inefficient, though.
Oh, is it inefficient if it gets up? I don't think so.
Well, if you get it up, it's worth it. Okay, so Moore is falling back because he did notice that Raven. So it looks like that town center will go up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at 10 minutes and 25 seconds. Got some Prometheans out here as well, ready to help out with the onslaught that is More Champions army.
Odin struggles against myth units early on, so the Prometheans are a good choice.
Yeah, you can't build the Prometheans too early because it slows you down too much as in the early stages of the game as Atlantean. But once you get that second town center going, you can start spamming those Prometheans really well, and then your army is in a really good position. We've also got the Cara Ballista coming out. Ready to help out to really take down these medium Ulfsarks. They do so much damage. And it's got some more raids on Mr. Boat's house. What did he do? What did he do to deserve this?
Well, poorly building his houses. That's what he did to deserve it.
That's very true. Got the third town center coming up for More Champion while Mr. Boat's grabbing his second town center. That's very good.
Yeah, more getting another town center. Boat just grabbing his first one.
Yeah, and we do see that the gold miners are really far forward from Moore here. So if Mr. Boat can win a fight, which he may be able to because Moore's got half his army taking down Mr. Boat's base. So if Mr. Boat could get a nice surround on this Atlantean army here, then he can push off this gold mine. But there is another nice gold mine on the top of the map, so it doesn't really matter that much.
He just needs to get in close to the Kiro Ballista, because that range they will absolutely smash his old Sark.
For sure. The way to approach this fight here is separate your army into 2, run 1 around the back, and then engage on the front. With your front army while your back army engages on the back, and that way you get onto the Cara Ballista, and they can't be like protected by those Mermillo. Yeah.
Mr. Boat threw away 3 old Sarks for no reason. We can see their dead bodies slowly rotting away.
This is a really good fight for Mr. Boat though, as he's trying to run onto these Cara Ballistas, but Shockwave comes in yet again to save the army of More Champion. He pushes most of those Ulfsark off the Cara Ballista, and we're seeing Val come down, and this army of Mr. Boat just gets completely shredded with the help of the Prometheans, and More Champions super far ahead right now.
That Shockwave did so much.
Yeah.
And
easily one of the strongest, if not the strongest, archaic god power in the game.
It can win 3 battles in and of itself, which can turn the entire game around, and it worked well there. Whew.
Yeah, well, like we always say, Odin's never out of the game. If he can defend, get heroic age, get Skadi, keep producing villages without losing him, he gets a really strong Ragnarok and gets a gold star from that Ragnarok, then it's always an option for Odin. He's never out. You're gonna see more. You're gonna see Mr. Boat stick around and see if he can get the juicy comeback here.
It's gonna have to be real juicy if he wants to come back, because He is not even close to aging up to age 3.
No, we're going to be seeing more popping to his own age 3 really soon. He's got his armory up. He's got 13 villagers on the farms. He's got plow, pickaxe, hand axe, and he's going to be advancing real soon as he's putting the pressure on. We're even seeing like sentry towers coming up.
Never getting his hunt.
Yeah, that was a huge issue right there, not getting that hunt.
Yes. He just has no response for these Prometheans.
Yeah, like what are you supposed to do? You can't really build Hersa. They get picked off instantly by the Carabalister. And we see Mr. Boat tap out there. GG, well played by more champion. Just taking that win. The constant pressure, the shockwaves, grabbing the 3 town centers in the right order. And then Mr. Boat just couldn't win any fights there.
Oh, he's just a little bit slow to get his Lone Wanderer, it seemed, and just wasn't able to put on enough early pressure.
Yeah, and if we're fair, this map is a difficult one for Odin just because you need the hunt to spam these Ulfsark. If you're on berries like he was, you're effectively gathering at half the rate. Not quite half the rate, but like you're gathering so much slower than you would be if you were on the hunt. And as the case is, it's just you don't have the same population you would normally have on a map, say like Marsh or Watering Hole.
There's really no excuse in missing his hunt on a map where he made 2 Ulfsarks too. So that was and you know on Oasis that you will always have second hunt. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't scouted it yet, you have to know it's obviously not where you scouted, and there were so few places they could have been, and he just never checked.
And not only that, you also have ravens to scout for you if you're desperate. You don't have to have them sitting on top of the Oasis not doing anything. But I think that this sort of thing happens a lot to the mid-tier players who haven't gotten used to goat scouting, and if you get into goat scouting and like really putting the effort into being able to do that in the early game, you never miss resources ever because you just see the entire map and it's really not that hard to do. So given you had so many goats as well, if you just scout those side areas with them, the oracles are probably not going to spot them because they're in their own little world, and if they do, you just send your Ulfsark back and grab them back because you're Odin.
Yeah, I mean it's still an uphill climb, but could have definitely set himself up better for a better chance. But it's tough.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is? Oh, we're on Borderlands. This is going to be a cool game.